just had two interesting presentations, one on the port and one on how a manufacturer has supplied so much equipment and so many plants across the country and outside. The topic is for this session is investing in the future of sugar and ethanol. It should really be investing in the future of ethanol and sugar, because I think all the investments now we see are mainly in ethanol. So I have an interesting panelist out here. These people represent companies that have invested across the country in various plants of both sugar and ethanol. Mr. Prabhakar Rao, please come. Fine. Yeah. And they have done a lot for the investment area. So, and across the north and the south. So, to start off the panel discussion, I would request Mr. Prabhakar Rao, President of ISMA, to give us a quick presentation on investments in sugar and ethanol.
So I think the topic is investing in the future of sugar and ethanol. Sugarcane planting area doubled in the last 4 decades, and sugarcane production increased 300% from around 150 million ton in the 1980s. Sugarcane yield increased by about 40% during the same period. India has now become surplus sugar producer over the years, second highest producer after Brazil. All the investments about what we are going to discuss, they are dependent on the sugarcane availability, and therefore the sustainability of the investments, sustainability of the ethanol blending program, all this depends on stabilizing the sugarcane production and enhancing the production to meet the future demand for ethanol arising out of the E20 program. We achieved 12% blending in 22-23, and the current year appears to be some drop due to the shortage of the sugarcane. With this. If I speak in this, they'll be able to hear. Correct, but if I take this additional mic, am I more audible to you? I think it will be the same. The key to success has been the growth of sugarcane and adoption of better technologies, R&D, investment in cane development and technology upgradation, better varieties, good agriculture practices. This slide explains about the sugar balance, which is well known. The next slide shows you the phenomenal growth of sugar exports from India, which of course is completely stopped this year due to the lower production. Next slide. The quantity of sugar diverted towards the production of ethanol is peaked in 22-23, and now it has come down again because of lower production. So therefore, I was stressing about in the very first slide that there is a need for us to focus on stabilizing the sugar production so that all the investments what we are making in ethanol or sugar will result in continuous utilization and better return on investments that we are making. The next slide explains about the capacity that got created for cane juice and molasses-based as well as grain-based distilleries. The next slide. The ethanol production and supply over the years. that's getting reflected here. The next slide. The ethanol blending journey, which I think is going to suffer in 23-24. And what's the solution for this problem? That we'll discuss in the next slide. As I mentioned in the very beginning, the entire investments that we are making on the capacities of sugar or ethanol is completely dependent on stabilizing the cane production and productivity. As we all know, certain parts of the country, particularly falling in southern part, Maharashtra and Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, etc., they are swing states. In certain years, we have excess cane production, where the crushing season gets prolonged and goes all the way into May, sometimes even June, whereas in other years, we don't have cane to crush even in March. So this kind of a swing also is leading to policy flip-flops. The allocation of sugar for ethanol, the syrup-based or B-heavy-based, has been restricted because of the fear that the sugar availability may be less than the demand that exists in the country. While that issue is a big issue by itself to debate, how do we avoid such flip-flops of the policy? We all feel, within the sugar industry, we have been debating about this in the last 2 months, we all feel that the answer lies in focusing on important measures to enhance the water availability for sugarcane cultivation in those water deficit states. It can be the major measures that have come into everybody's mind are that we need to work on creation of drip irrigation systems in all those areas, and also allow recharge of the groundwater by working on what's called as watershed development practices. The sugar factories, while we are investing hundreds of crores on the capacities, we also now have to think about investing or at least facilitating investments of the government in our factory zones to enhance the investments in the watershed development, install more and more capacities of drip irrigation, so that at least starting with 20-25%, we should target to reach to 80-90% area covered with drip irrigation. And also the variety improvement programs, participate in the variety improvement programs, bringing in new traits developed by genetically modified technologies. All these measures we are now discussing to enhance the cane productivity and production. I am confident that if we work on all these aspects in the states where we are facing the constant problem of cane production going up and coming down quite often, periodically, this production of sugarcane gets stabilized, and the investments we have made in the factories will start giving us better returns. To meet the 20% blending by 25-26, as per the government plans, we require about 10.2 billion liters of ethanol, and the sugar sector is expected to contribute 5.5 billion liters. Current average sugarcane production is around 450 million tons. We need to increase this to 520 to 540 million tons to be able to supply the 5.5 billion liters of ethanol. Both vertical and horizontal growth of sugarcane is required, and an increase in cane area as well as cane yield up to 8 to 10% from the current level is needed. This is very much achievable once we stabilize the water availability to the cane. The focus on sustainable agricultural practices, soil and water conservation through watershed development, drip irrigation, and mechanization. These are the things which needs to be tackled. The mechanization is also becoming very important because the farmers are spending 25 to 30% of the FRP only on harvesting and transportation. This is dissuading the farmer to move towards sugarcane, and if this is not mechanization is not done, there is a risk of farmers moving away from cane also. So the ISMA is now representing to the government to help the units make the farmers access the benefits of various centrally sponsored schemes. There are schemes of the central government for subsidizing to the extent of more than 60% on drip irrigation, up to 75% on mechanization, and 100% for the watershed development activities. So we decided that we will represent and we will channelize all these schemes to reach to the farmers, to reach to the sugarcane farmers, so that the sugarcane farmers will have continuous high yields of sugarcane, encouraging them to take up sugarcane production to meet the demands that are occurring because of additional capacity creations we are doing. We believe that this will lead to a win-win situation to the government, farmers and industry. Another interesting slide, please move on to the next slide. Next slide, please. The sugarcane crop is one of the best crops in terms of carbon sequestration as well as efficiency in terms of nutrient, water and land use. So therefore, the sustainability development goals can also be met by banking more on this crop rather than banking on the other crops, which are also being focused by the government for meeting the ethanol requirements. The important features are explained here. Because of want of time, I don't want to elaborate each and every point, but the slide very well explains all these aspects. So with these words, I would like to, there are a few more slides which explain about the activities that are being done by ISMA on variety identification, on water use efficiency, mechanization, and teaming up with Bon Sucro, and also now in future working with agencies like the World Bank in bringing all these water saving schemes to make the sugarcane crop more sustainable from the environment angle. Can we go to the conclusion slide? Next one, please. Next. Next. As I mentioned, by addressing the challenges and implementing the proposed strategies, sugarcane can pave way for a sustainable, secure, and profitable future for the Indian sugar and ethanol industries, along with benefiting lakhs of farmers, other stakeholders who depend on cane economy and the environment. This can truly fulfill the potential as the backbone of a thriving EBP. India is on the road to become world leader in technological advancements, evolving sugar industry as a bioenergy hub. Thank you very much for the organizers for giving me this opportunity. I wish a great success for all the investment that happen in the sugar industry. Thank you very much.
So, thank you, Mr. Rao. Interesting take on the investment has to be really in sugarcane if you really want to make money in the sugar and the ethanol sector. And I think you've given a very clear view on where our focus should be and what ISMA is doing very well in that sector. I would now like to invite Mr. Vijendra Singh, whose company Renuka Sugars has invested a lot of money in ethanol. They're also part of the Wilma group, which includes KVK. So they have a ringside view on both sides of the fence, investing in ethanol plants and making ethanol plants for others. I would like to ask for his views on how he sees the future with all this up and down that is happening.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Kiran ji. Well, the party was very good. Ethanol party was very good, but suddenly there's a plug was drawn. Is really the party is over or no? I believe it is still on. Is a pause. Because any business has three vertical. One is raw material, production and supply demand. Demand of ethanol is unlimited today. I mean, from the production level what we have today. We are producing about 450 crore, 500 crore, but demand seems to be 1,000 crore, maybe going to 1,500 crore also. So as long as demand is there, business will grow, opportunity will be there, only we have to look around the raw material. Do I have the presentation also? Do I have presentation also? Not just, it's okay. So, today the question is raw material. And the raw material, sugarcane cycle in India has a difficulty because two states, Karnataka, Maharashtra, get affected frequently with the lower rains. So it's a phenomena which have been continuing for many years, and this is 1 year we also saw now. With the lower production, there is a question arises, sugar or ethanol? Obviously, sugar got the priority. Okay, I have the presentation also on. Thank you. So I go by the flow of the presentation now. What is the takeaway from this slide is that we have been swinging in the production. You have the many year data, cane plantation yield. I'll go next. Yeah, here. Cane crushing also varies as per the production numbers. So there you can see the swing 188 million to 356 million. I'll very quickly pass through the presentation, this presentation. So sugar production also get a swing from 20 million to 33 million proportionately. EBP was a game changer for us because it solved many problems, excess stocks, liquidity, better sugar price, timely payment to the farmers, and when farmer get paid well and timely, cane increases, is the best fertilizer we can give to the farmer. And our recognition as a green industry. The demand production actually has already spoken. This projections everyone know actually, I discussed, I think I can skip this. It's not working? Okay, gone. So here the current situation, we all know that this year so far quantity only 270 crore liter approximately, and out of that 90 crore liter has been supplied so far. What the future? Future obviously this year is gone. I don't think industry can produce now. We have fact under the season in Maharashtra, Karnataka, and 2/3 of season in UP already over. So it will live with the lower blending this year. The sugar diversion about 1.7 million projected this year is against 3.9 of last year. Here is the catch. Do we have only 1.7 million or more? Do you have 1.7 million or more? With the numbers we discussed since morning here, and I also believe there is more sugar in the kitty. But how to get it? The big million, I think policymakers should look into it. And this knee-jerk reaction of stopping juice ethanol is not helping anyone. Neither the industry, nor the blending program. Consumer may be happy for some time, but not in long term. The farmers will get affected finally. So I believe that this number need to be optimized now. Earlier, our whole policy was depending upon the commercial consideration. The model was commercial, not the administrative, not the controlling way. How does it structure that way? Ethanol price is here, sugar price goes down, you produce more ethanol, sugar price goes up. Don't control the sugar, you just control the ethanol side. So you produce more sugar, price will fall down like Brazil has a structure. And if you have less sugar, the price will go up, automatically ethanol will reduce, automatically sugar production will increase. I think that basic principle should remain there, it should not be disturbed. If you remain this principle of commercialization, balancing, automatic balancing, the thing will not go the way it looked today. But nevertheless, it's a temporary pause in the whole plan, and I believe as soon as we issue the sugar, after the production number, next year, the policy makers will see it and make a policy which will be good for everyone. Now, demand is unlimited, as I already said this. There are many things we have already done. We invested a lot in the industrialization of this ethanol. I think 50,000 crore has been invested over the period. For the ethanol blending, the ethanol price has been increased. There are some initiatives taken by everyone, including government here. I would like to touch the SAF here. Sustainable aviation fuel. This is a 1% mandate likely to come for aviation fuel here. This will give about 70 crore liter more demand for SAF. And technology is not very far off. It should come soon. So we have now retail, as I said, demand is increasing, logistics is improving, distribution is improving. This is the first flight, we have SAF flight. This is the latest on SAF. I believe that, to conclude quickly, believe that policy is storage is intact, demand is high, country needs ethanol. It's only balancing the two, sugar versus ethanol, or find the more avenues for sugarcane ethanol production, like corn, maybe 2G, bamboo, organic waste, and that will slowly come into it, because sugar was easy to convert, easy to store. Thank you.
I think since there's no more presentations, we'll just sit and the panelists may speak from here. I would now like to invite Roshan Tamak to give his views on his pioneering investment in potassium sulfate, because diversification is also something that the industry, I mean, we're talking only sugar and ethanol, but I think there should be more diversification, and I think Roshan Tamak's company, DCM Shriram, has done a lot of that, and we'd like his views on how he sees it going forward.
Thank you, Kiran, and thank you, ChiniMandi, for giving me this opportunity to share my views. As rightly pointed out by you, that diversification is absolutely essential for any business to create value on a sustainable basis. I would like to add further, integration, value addition, and diversification are absolutely essential for any business to survive and thrive. So adopting this approach, we have also invested in many adjacencies. For example, dual feedstock ethanol plants. Besides cogen and sugar, we have also started setting up a compressed bio-CNG plant at one of our locations. And we have also set up, already commissioned, a potassium sulfate plant, which is first of its kind globally. The feedstock is boiler ash, distillery boiler ash. And we are producing FCO compliant potassium fertilizer, muriate of potash, and other products. Though the capacity is small, but in terms of value addition, it is absolutely game changer. and the product is export quality compliant and FCO compliant. So besides this, we are working on other areas as well and exploring further value addition possibilities. Coming to this subject of investment, as Dr. Prabhakar has widely covered, that sugarcane is the heart of sugar industry. And he has elaborated in detail that what steps ISMA is taking and what steps will be taken further to ensure sustainable sugarcane production in a country like India. I would like to add 2-3 points over there. One, research, because other points have been covered in detail, so I will not duplicate. Research should also be the priority because variety is the game changer as we have witnessed in the past. And right now at government level, from ISMA side also yesterday we had a meeting. So it is absolutely essential that focus is on the right kind of varieties which are climate resilient, high yielder in terms of sugar as well as sugarcane. So that is also another area of focus. And as far as investment is concerned, concerning this topic, R&D and innovation. Traditionally in this sector, R&D and innovation has not been in the forefront. So now the time has come that on this R&D and innovation also, industry should invest. NSI has done a lot of work in this area for product development. So I think this particular aspect needs to be taken forward for R&D and innovation of various products of this sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roshan. You've given us a very interesting insight into where investments going forward can take place. I'd like to now ask Vishal Nirani, because they have actually got one of the largest capacities of ethanol in India, and they've also just had a tie-up with GAIL on CBG. So CBG is another big area that people are looking at very seriously. I'd like to have his view on his tie-up and how they see going forward in this area. Thank you.
First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to ChiniMandi for inviting me as a speaker here today. And I would also like to congratulate Upal Bhai, Hemant Bhai, and the entire ChiniMandi team for hosting this conference for us all to get down together and discuss about new innovative ideas. Thank you. Now, coming back to the question, my father and our founder, Chairman Sir, always says the 3 most important things to always look at before starting a new sector. 1 being the availability of raw material. 2nd being the market for the finished product. 3rd being the government scheme, whether the government is pushing it or not. The availability of raw material to produce CBG in the sugar sector is plenty. Be it our press mud, which is available. Even the ETP also has a lot of methane, which we can extract and make CBG. Very newly in Maharashtra, we can see that a spent wash-based CBG plant has also been set up. Going forward, I think CBG is going to be the new big thing. Agri-waste, municipal waste, it is truly a waste to wealth creation, I can say. Second, speaking about the offtake, there are presently a bit of challenges in the offtake of CBG. Main reason being you cannot transport CBG more than 100 kilometers of radius. In cascade, it gets difficult. But however, the government is working very closely in closing down all these issues and resolving them by setting up city gas distribution lines. They're also drawing all the pipelines to major of the districts where we can inject the CBG into the pipeline directly and get it delivered to any part of the country as we speak. The government scheme. The government is also pushing for the CBG left and right. We can see that they've also come out with a very recent new scheme of CBO, where CBG blending obligation. It is not mandatory as of today, but going forward within the next 2 years, the government is going to make it mandatory to blend CBG with CNG by 1%. In the next 5 years, they will blend it by 5%, which is already in panel and which is already in discussion. The government has also come out with a scheme for the press mud, organic press mud, which comes out of the CBG, where this press mud has been fixed at a cost of 1,500 rupees by the Department of Fertilizers. There are the Satat scheme, where the capital of 10 crores subsidy has also been given. There are many such schemes which the government is trying to push for CBG to take place. I truly believe in the next coming 10 years, where today we are having a sugar-ethanol-based conference, we will soon rename it and call it Sugar-Ethanol CBG Conference. And lastly, I will not be able to share much about the GAIL and TruAlt JV because of the NDA disclosure. But however, I can say that we are setting up 10 new plants in 3 different states, be it being Karnataka, Maharashtra and Orissa, with a capacity of 10 TPD of 100, totally 100 TPD capacity. And lastly, I would like to say that we at TruAlt Bioenergy truly believe in emitting less carbon footprint in this nation. Like our Prime Minister rightly said in the G20, one earth, one home. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vishal. And I really like your father's principles of investment. You have the government pushing it, you have the raw material, you have the market. And I think CBG falls squarely in that. And I think it's a good thing that you all are taking this forward. And I'm wishing you all the success in all these plants that you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
Now I would like to come to Kapil Nema from Dalmia Sugar. See, Dalmias were the first in India, the investments are more region-wise. I mean, if you have a UP groups don't go south of the Vindhyas. You have Maharashtra groups that don't come north, Maharashtra, Karnataka. Dalmias were the first one that went, I think, 10, 15 years ago to Maharashtra and have actually then increased the capacities in Maharashtra from 1 mill to 2 mills. Then all of a sudden, now the future expansions are happening in UP. And I would like to understand from him, why was this change happening? What is their view? Why do they see going back to UP more interesting? And why did they go first to Maharashtra in the first place?
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity to speak on this topic. If we look back, when the first investment from Dalmia happened in Maharashtra, it was sometime in 2012-13. And if you look at the sugar scenario which was prevalent at that point of time, the UP industry was actually getting a bit stagnant. And Maharashtra was showing a huge potential in terms of growth. And that's how, the bigger idea was to grow, to keep on continuously grow in terms of capacities, increasing our bottom line as well as top line. If you look at the growth chart in 2007-8, we had expanded in UP as well. We had where we had put 2 new sugar plants in central UP, and so we had a sufficient exposure to UP, and then we were looking at a new area which can help us keep on expanding. And then we entered Maharashtra in 2013 and again in 2017. And look at Maharashtra. 2013 there were around 140 sugar mills. Today there are 200 sugar mills in Maharashtra which are crushing, and the overall crush has doubled, the area has doubled. So there has been ample opportunities for everyone, which has been presented by Maharashtra and Karnataka, both in terms of capacities to grow. And now, after introduction, special introduction of the new variety 238, things have got much more stable in UP. UP has not seen big investments for quite some time. We have seen small capacity increase which have been happening in the existing plants which have been in UP. But now, and there are opportunities which are there. There are mills where we are seeing private investments coming in. There have been some acquisitions which have happened in last 6 months. And that's how UP, with the stability which it is offering, it has provided an opportunity to expand base in UP and look into the projects there.
Thank you, Kapil. I think it's a good insight into where investments are going to happen. I'd like now to wrap up and for the last comments from Mr. Rao on what he feels is the future happening now that he's at a position he can have a much wider outlook of the country.
I, like many of the panelists who have spoken before me, I also strongly believe in a good case for us to invest into not only ethanol, but also into the PDM and CBG, as well as even there are opportunities for value creation for the bagasse. In case we are able to save bagasse, a lot of requirement of packing material coming out of the natural products to replace the plastics. And that is also a great opportunity. While we can explore all these opportunities for all those factories which are located in the rain deficit or rain fluctuating areas, we need to also focus on investments in cane development to stabilize the cane production. So this is what I think I would like to say and conclude. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we've now run out of time, so shall we thank you all panelists for giving so much inputs, and I think we are seeing a very bright future for the industry. Thank you all.
Kiran sir, can I please request you to do the felicitations, please? Can I also request Sanjay Awasthi sir to please come here on the stage and do the felicitations, please? Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Let's have a round of applause for the entire panel and a group photo also, please. Let's have a group picture, everybody. Please pose for a group photograph before we move on to our next session, which is the final session for the day before we end the formal session. And we will get together again immediately for the Sugar and Ethanol International Awards happening later tonight.